Greetings my champions of the light, and welcome to Oathbound, the classic challenge where we must reach level 60, while only doing battle with worthy foes. And by worthy foes I mean we can only do battle with orange level enemies, creatures at least 3 levels higher than ourselves, and all the while we must maintain our sacred oath. We must ignore lesser creatures. We can only fight worthy foes. And as a paladin of the holy light, we must never bring dishonor to ourselves. Now my friends, before we set out on our adventure, I take a look at the mailbox where I notice that thanks to our auctioneering, I receive over 2 gold coins. And what better way to spend that hard-earned coin than by purchasing a pair of skeletal gauntlets? Quite the upgrade for a paladin like me, as are this nice pair of soldier's boots. These new armaments should give us the edge in our adventure today. And as we look out over the sun-baked plains of Westfall, I shall now reveal today's mission. We are going to find and locate Captain Sanders' hidden treasure, sure to be worth a lot of experience points. Speaking of experience points, first I pop over to the Saldine's farm, and after handing over the reagents for Westfall stew, I am rewarded with a healthy dose of experience points. And while we are here, there is one last thing I want to show you. Much how Saint Scorp had that bunny rabbit called Breadbun, I believe that old Scorp also needs a companion. This little random chicken will do. And did you know, my crusaders, that if you make a /chicken macro, drag it to your bars, and begin spamming that new button, it will actually fall in love with you, allowing you to hand over some special chicken feed, courtesy of Farmer Saldine, and lo and behold, the chicken will lay an egg. Oh, and would you look at that, it somehow died. That certainly wasn't me, you guys. And after collecting the large overgrown egg, we now have the power to summon forth our own loyal chicken. Some of you might call this the Westfall chicken, but you are entirely wrong. It is actually called a prairie chicken. Now my friends, please comment below what I should call our new, feathery friend, and perhaps we'll do a vote like last time. For now, me and my, feathery friend, we need to make our way to the shoreline, and eventually you will find a part of the road overlooking a field of wheat with 3 windmills on the left side. Now it is my suggestion that you make your way over the southern cliffside of the Gold Coast Quarry. You do not want to venture inside the quarry as there are many defiers nearby, and there are also murlocs on this long shore, and so I'd recommend not delving onto the sand just yet. And when you find this half-eaten sea creature being gobbled down by several flesh rippers, you know you're in the right spot, as just to the side you will find a half-sunken ship on the coastline, and a nicely sloped embankment leading you to the shoreline. And right there, over yonder, do you see it, my friends? The treasure awaits. But first we must do battle with this level 15 Murloc warrior. Not too much of a difficult battle if you ask me. You see those 3 green Murlocs on the shoreline? They are level 16 and 17, and are even guarded by lower level crabs. And there's simply no way that we can deal with them. And just as I am contemplating what to do, it appears that the spirits of Captain Sanders does not want me retrieving his treasure, as 2 more Murlocs spawn right in front of me, making completing this quest completely impossible. However, I do remember once before utilizing my holy protection spell in order to gather an item surrounded by Murloc fiends. And so, with it being the only way to complete this quest, I charge on in, activating my Blessing of Protection, and at the last second I am able to pick up the item. However, my friends, I soon realized that, well, I am dazed, and I foolishly did not wait for my potion to come off cooldown. And while waiting for it to come off cooldown, I forget that I have lay on hands. Would I have survived, my friends? I guess we'll never really know. But either way, I certainly was not prepared. And you know what that means, my crusaders. It's time to spin the Wheel of Doom. And what do you know, we land on green. Meaning we will now forfeit our belts, gloves, braces, and rings. I suppose it could be worse, my friends. And after resurrecting at the Spirit Healer, we lose our light mail bracers. Not a terrible loss. And I probably won't miss this veteran girdle. But what I will miss, my friends, are these skeletal gauntlets that I had just bought earlier. What a terrible shame. At least I don't have any rings to throw away. Anyway, my friends, I'm not going to give up just yet. We may have perished, but at least we were still able to collect the next clue to finding Captain Sander's treasure. And so we make a beeline towards the road. And as we reach the Gold Coast Quarry, this time we follow the road south until we come across the ruins of a house. And inside this random barrel off the road, we find the next clue, instructing us to travel exactly north until we reach a windmill. And in the interest of not getting lost, I'm going to travel in this direction, no matter the cost to my well-being. I've come too far now, and I can't come out of this quest without success. Finally, my friends, I do come across the windmill, and I find an old jug, revealing that I have almost made it to the treasure. I am instructed to travel in a straight line once again, heading out across the shore and swimming in a straight line until I reach a small group of islands. And finally, my friends, I have finally uncovered Captain Sander's hidden treasure. And seeing how I am without a belt, I even put on his sash. Quite colourful if you ask me. And although I had purchased that bold yellow shirt, I decide to put on Captain Sander's shirt, as it is quite a unique item. And I believe I can see Stormwind in the distance, guys. And that reminds me, I need to Hearthstone. And I don't really want to purchase a brand new set of skeletal gauntlets. Aldrich Moore is more than happy to sell me his chainmail gloves and chainmail braces. And I suppose they'll do just fine. And then, while in Stormwind, I remember I have a quest to deliver a letter to Osric Strang, a heavy armor merchant in Old Town. And for my efforts he rewards me with just 420 experience points, and tells me to return to the Griffin Master with a crate of supplies. And I do, my friends, and I receive just 210 experience points. And yet, Dungar Longdrink does ask me to return the crate to Sentinel Hill. Now, my friends, as we fly to Westfall, let's have a chat about our talent points. In the last episode, I'd asked you for advice, my Crusaders, and a few of you mentioned that I should probably equip a shield and a one-handed weapon. And to be fair, I did consider that, until I saw Uber Megas Tador's comment, where he reminded us that the most powerful paladins do not need a physical shield, and it is true. All of the fabled paladins do indeed just have a big-ass weapon and their faith in the light. And speaking of the holy light, what could be a more noble talent specialization than one that is literally called holy? And so, for now, my friends, we shall put all of our points into divine strength. Light wills it, and it must be done. And what a surprise! Quartermaster Lewis actually gives us over 1,000 experience points. I guess that quest line was worth it all along. Now, my friends, we shall move on to that quest for Captain Danovin to collect 8 gnolls. Now, I wasn't worried about this quest, as I am aware that gnolls are very varied, ranging from level 12 all the way to level 20. And considering we are level 12, we should probably just do battle with the Riverpaw brutes, which can be found in these locations. And so we set off, and charging into battle against our first Riverpaw gnoll, which happens to be a level 17 fiend. And just as I am doing battle, this other paladin, Arielorn, jumps in to save the day, and he tells me that I can't fight it. He must not be aware that in the last episode, I fought Defias pillagers at level 10, and he clearly doubts my ability to survive. And just as he asks me to prove it, a gnoll comes in as if he had scripted this entire moment. Well, my friends, I'm going to show him that I can do battle with it. Wait, no, you can't heal me. No, you're stealing my aura, my devotion aura. And though he is mildly impressed, He now runs away without knowing the true potential of a paladin with the strength of 1,000 suns. A paladin like me. And just because he didn't get to witness my power, that doesn't mean you won't, my friends. Lay on hands or not. I was still victorious against a gnoll 5 levels higher than myself. How's that for a miracle of the light? These foolish gnolls, they merely delay the inevitable. Or... You cannot stand against my might. I am the light. I will claim all of their pores as proof of my power. Pure poison is nothing against the power of the light. And just like that, I am level 13. And now these gnolls are in even more danger. Oh my goodness me. Whoa, look at the size of that gnoll encampment. Comment below if you think I'd die if I tried to take on that camp of gnolls. A glorious tin vein. This may actually be our first one. A boon of the lights, no doubt. And finally, I am successful, and receive my last gnoll pore. And Captain Donovan is most pleased to receive these gnoll pores. Thank you again for watching, my friends. Perhaps we will travel to a distant land for the next episode, as I believe it's time for some change of scenery. Thank you again for watching, and always remember, light be with you.